Hello, everyone. My name is Joseph Cook, and I'm here to talk about matches and how we're handling matches and people in multiple segments for our June area survey. So, what is a match when we say that? This means that when two surveys are going to the same person. So, we've got an example Bob. Bob has some hogs and some crops. He's going to get maybe a June agricultural survey and a June hog survey. So here's what it'll look like. He'll get his June agricultural survey. It's going to have his name and address, Bob's farm, and then he'll get his hog report. Bob's name, Bob's address. There we go. Two different surveys, both going to Bob. He gets those in the mail. They're going to be in separate envelopes. And in most cases, we're going to send these matches together to the field to enumerators. But let's have a more complicated example. Bob has some land in an area segment, and also he's in the June Agricultural Survey or the Crops APS Survey. We call things a million different names. So here we have on the left, he's got his June Agricultural Survey or Crops APS Survey, and on the right, we have his June Area Survey. Now he was in there last year, as we know about it, so we have his name and address on the front sheet, and also in that blue screener jacket, we've got his name and address there, and whatever tract he happens to be in. Still pretty simple. So Bob is going to get his June agricultural survey in the mail, and then you're going to go talk to Bob for June area and June ag if he hasn't already had a chance to fill it out. Now, how are you going to know that Bob's there? Well, there's going to be a labeled June agricultural questionnaire inside the area tract questionnaire. Also, that June ag is going to show up on your iPad and your listings. So, here is what I mean by that. June ag inside the June area questionnaire. Now, it is a little tricky because it is possible that Bob's operation that's inside the segment might not be the same operation that we're asking about for the other survey. So, for an example, he's got his individual operation inside the segment. That's how we talked to Bob last year. But he also manages big land and cattle. So in this case, and to be clear, big land and cattle is not the operation that's inside the segment. But we know you're going to talk to Bob, and we don't want to bother Bob twice. So you're going to talk to Bob about the area questionnaire that talks about the land inside the segment, but while you're talking to Bob, you're going to say, all right, I also have a questionnaire for big land and cattle. Can you help me out with that? Alright, and in this case, they're going to look a little different. The June area survey is going to have Bob's farm, Bob's name, Bob's address, but the June ag for big land and cattle is going to say big land and cattle, and then talking to Bob. So let's talk about something different now. Multi-segments. This is a word we throw around a lot. It's when one person operates land in more than one segment. So, for example, we have two different segments. We have Lee, Illinois, 1810-55, and we have Champaign, Illinois, 1810-67, but we can see that Bob has land in both of these segments. So it's going to get a little tricky here. How are you going to know that they are a multi-segment? Well, we're going to have stickers on the area screening form and the area tract questionnaire. The stickers will be on both segments and tracts that the operator is in. So as an example, it's going to have a multi-segment sticker on both the screening form and the tract questionnaire, like I just said. Now, what are you supposed to do with that? So, the area tract questionnaire is really asking about two different things. It's asking about the land inside the segment. Mostly we're talking about Section D. If you haven't covered Section D yet in your training, well, we'll talk about it later. And most of the rest of the questionnaire is about their whole operation, talking about their crops and livestock, etc. So, we only want to bother this person once, but we need a Section D for both segments. Do we need information on the whole operation twice? No. We already asked him one question about, say, do you have any land do you have any cattle? We only need to ask him that once. So, if you happen to be the enumerator for both segments that Bob is in, this is no problem. You just go up to him and you say, Bob, I've got this aerial photo here. Can I ask you about this land here? And then you'll fill that out on Section D. And, you also have this land here, and you've got your other aerial photo. And can I ask you about this land right here? And you'll fill out Section D for both questionnaires. And you'll only need to fill out the full questionnaire once. You can send it back into the office, and we'll copy the information over. but it is important that we get section D for all questionnaires. Now it gets real rough if you're the enumerator for only one of the segments and there's another enumerator who is also has Bob in one of their segments. So, are you the one that's going to talk to the operator? Well, if your sticker says interview operator, you are going to talk to Bob. But if the sticker says observe section D only, then you're not supposed to talk to Bob. You're only going to look at the land in the segment, and you're going to make your best guess to draw off the fields and make your best guess as to what's going on in those fields in section D. We don't want to bother Bob. That's the point here. So we're going to have a tract for one operator, and you see on the left, one enumerator I should say, you see on the left it's going to have that multi-segment sticker, and it's going to say interview operator. And on the right, the other enumerator, it's got that same multi-segment sticker, but it says observe section D only. Now I should say, these multi-segment stickers are going to say the segment and tract of the other segment and tract that Bob is in. So that way, if you are the enumerator who has both, you're going to know which tract to flip open to. And this will be super clear for you once you get your assignments in your hands. So, it is also important that you believe the sticker. We also put that same observe section D only if we had a comment that said that the operator is particularly hostile or unpleasant or something along those lines, smells bad, we don't want you to have to deal with that sort of thing. So if it says observe section D only, don't worry about trying to talk to him. Just do what you can to fill out section D. So what does this really mean for you? Let's wrap this up here. If the sticker says interview operator, that means interview the operator, including any matches that you might have. If the sticker says observe section D only, well, only observe section D. Don't worry about contacting the operator. If there's no multi-segment sticker at all, well, it's just a normal questionnaire. Just interview them like you do everything else. If you have any questions, feel free to talk to your supervisor, or feel free to come into the office, call into the office, and we'll be happy to help you as best we can. Thank you all muchly.